cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
What is up, everybody? Hello. We have Marv from Beyond the Evidence today.
Hello, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while.
It has been a while. It has.
Oh.
And usually I'm right on the dot.
That's all right.
Yeah. Everybody hit the like button. And after the stream, we will drop some links. Go subscribe to her channel. And vice versa, y'all. If you're not a member of Guilty of Crime, come over.
Exactly.
And look, Marv, I'm wearing the Elijah Vue bracelet I've been wearing for a long time.
I've got mine right here.
I've taken mine off once, and that's it.
I gotta stretch mine out a little bit. It came in small, so I wear it for a little bit and then I take it off.
Let me see if I can. Yeah, luckily I have tiny wrists. It's funny how small I am. When you meet me in real life, you're gonna say, "Man, what?" You're gonna look down at me and say, "What the heck?" Anyway, yeah, I'm 4'11", 5 feet with shoes. So,
I did not know that. Well, I'm only 5'4", so
okay. Well, you're a bit taller. Hello, everybody. Yeah, a bit taller, but I'm pretty small, so it fits me real nice, and I never take it off. And I want Elijah Vue's case to be out there. We're at 5 months now, a little over. And I want to know what you know, first of all. And hello to Crystal and Stonefly Blue and C. Smith and Sadie's mama and Sweetie. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to one of my victims' family members about a case, and we work for the victims and and the family. So I'm doing a show tomorrow, and that determines how it goes, is that by those people. So for everybody that doesn't think that we work for the families, we do. And we're not even on the clock. We're not getting paid, and that's okay. All right. What do you know? You want to talk about that first?
What do I know? Goodness gracious.
I have an outline, but I have a question for you.
I think the searches. I think the searches have kind of dwindled, and the case isn't out there rampant anymore. So things have slowed down. I know the family is still doing searches, still trying to find them. Lots of things going on in court with the mother and the boyfriend.
Lots of things. Yeah. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. That would be cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand the plea deal thing because it got glossed over for July 26th. It got pushed out from the week before, and then they never talked about it again. They expected it, and then the bond hearing was reduced, or not reduced, but there was a hearing, and then she lost her lawyer. So I don't understand.
Yeah, her lawyer withdrew.
I know. I have a clip of that today. I have some things queued up, depending on what you have.
And I do know, I hope you have the video. There's a video out there about Elijah's father wants to know where he is.
You're going to play that one, and I'm going to play the one with
I gotta find it then.
Yeah, you can do that. I came here today to talk about updates, and then I'm going to play the video. If I only get to one, the one that I'm going to play is the voice for the voiceless and the police deleted images showing missing Elijah Vue blindfolded with bruises. So I want to keep him in the spotlight with Court TV. Absolutely. And but other than that, I mean, so I have Baur's lawyer stepping down on around August 6th. And then, so the case is going to see a delay for sure. I have that news. I have the newsletter that says that July 18th, the plea hearing got pushed out to July 26th. Jesse Vang hasn't had anything yet. And on July 31st, the bond hearing was not reduced. So yeah, August 6th. August 6th, the lawyer stepped down. And while you're looking for that, I'll show people this article. What's up, everybody? Bossy. Nice name. And Gibbo.
Hey, bossy. Hey, Gibbo. Nice to see you.
Cassie Ferguson.
Some of those from Beyond the Evidence in the chat. Nice.
Yeah.
All of you to join us.
Yeah, Elijah Vue has been like, there's been bits and pieces and trickles of things, and it's a bit confusing if you're not like really following it.
Absolutely.
I still want to know about that plea hearing that just came and went, but they don't have the information on it, or they're not sharing it with us. So
they're being very quiet lately regarding this case. I really think that police are going through and they're trying to look at.
I think Marv froze up a bit. Good afternoon, everybody. Sherry McConnell. I wish I could say they found Elijah Vue, but we're on the 5-month mark and we have not found Elijah. And Baur's lawyer, his mother's lawyer, stepped down from the case.
Jump out and come back in. The internet's being a little weird here.
Okay, go ahead and do that, and I'll read this article. All right, y'all. So Katrina Baur was supposed to plea. She was supposed to change her plea. And if she changed her plea, and it sounded when they put that in the news, it was a bit confusing, folks. When it said Katrina Baur to plea, we were thinking they were giving a plea deal, but it was really her changing her plea on what they gave her. So let me add Marv back in.
Sorry about that. All of a sudden, the internet went wonky.
All right, that's okay. So Randy's new to this case and doesn't know anything about it. So if you want to take that one, tell us about that. 5 months missing.
Yep. So Elijah Vue went missing 5 months ago. His mother gave him to her boyfriend and wanted him to basically train him to be a man. This man did horrendous things to this little boy, and he went missing. Nobody has seen him. Nobody has heard from him. And the mother and the boyfriend were arrested for neglect. Okay, not for him missing or anything like that. Police in Two Rivers have been doing their own searches on their own. The family of Elijah Vue has been conducting searches for the public all this time. I've gone a few times. In fact, I'm going this weekend again to help search for Elijah. We think we know about where he is.
And you've been out there before.
Yes.
Many times, right? A few times,
but we think we know where he is. But with the water, with all the rain and stuff that we've had, I've been kind of waiting for it to dry up and for the water levels to drop. And so Friday, my sister and I will be leaving to head to Two Rivers.
Okay. And can you tell us a little bit about the search? I'm going to pull up Jesse Vang and Katrina Baur so people can see that don't know anything about this case. I just going to share that. I mean, where did you guys search exactly?
So we went and searched in Michigan. We did like a grid pattern. The family.
So everyone knows.
This is out of Wisconsin.
Okay, everybody. So it's Wisconsin.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this yet, and they're like, "Wait, what?" So I'm gonna pull up an article after. Yeah, usually I do a recap, especially when it's been so long since we've covered it, right?
Okay. So going back to recap the case.
Yep.
Elijah's blanket was found in an area. Okay. Then the police were requesting information about a car that they know Jesse and Katrina borrowed the night that they believe Elijah went, or the day they believe Elijah actually went missing. The police are not going with the story that Elijah just walked off out of
Right.
this apartment complex. There's no way this happened.
Hello to this glorious morning in nature. Can you feel the
I'm
energy?
sorry. I'm trying to
Birds,
pause
the
this. I don't know what
kitties
happened.
grilling, waking up and being alive and kicking.
It's
Luckily
not
for
letting
you
me.
humans, nature's way.
That's
I'm
weird.
just gonna. Yeah, it didn't let me. I wanted to pull up the picture, but go ahead. I wanted to pull it up so they can see a video playing while you were talking, but it wasn't YouTube, so it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
And I do have videos on my channel of the searches that we went and done.
Right.
I mean, we've walked and looked under bridges and climbed down hills and walked through forests, you name it, we've done it.
Right.
There's a specific area in Chateau that I want to search this weekend.
There it is. There's a good picture. Okay. All right.
And that's over by the fire station. It's only like 4 miles, 5 miles, I think, away from the apartment building. It's always been a hot spot of ours. But it's there's a girls' camp there. There's a quarry there, so it's hard to search those areas when it's private property.
Right.
But I think we're going to try to get around the private property. I've been told some information of how we can walk over there and stuff and look along like the bank of the river.
Right. So here's what I'm going to do real quick. I'm going to play like a really quick clip of this at the beginning about Elijah Vue so people can see what the heck is going on. I'm trying to find, this one's probably the best one. There's one about the missing blanket. I'm trying to find one from the original.
You got to scroll down.
I found a 5-month mark and it's 2 minutes. So here we go. This is perfect. Let me pause this. And it talks about mother caregiver of missing Wisconsin toddler Elijah Vue, formerly charged with child neglect. And then, it comes out later that he was into trafficking. His brother was into trafficking, which is actually the dad. Am I correct?
Jimmy is the dad.
Which is Vue's brother, right?
I don't know if it's his brother or
cousin.
Yeah, but they sound like they're related, same last name and all that good stuff. So
yeah, it gets a little messy. And if you guys haven't seen this case, I'm going to do a quick recap real quick. There were 125 people in here and it's wavering. So hit the like button. If you guys come back on this and are in the rewatch crew, subscribe to Marv at Beyond the Evidence and Guilty of Crime. All right. So it helps us out a lot to get in the algorithm and to get cases like this and be able to go search for them and work with the family members and do boots on the ground. So here's the little angel that I can't stop thinking about. And every time I see the case, I'm like, man, what's happened with them? And I look it up and it's like, one little push, not enough to really update. So it's in Wisconsin. I'm going to hit play and this will give you a recap of exactly what happened. Well, not all the details, but enough for you to know what case we're talking about.
Waits for answers as to 3-year-old Elijah Vue's whereabouts. We're learning more about his mother and the adult caregiver who reported him missing. According to a criminal complaint, Jesse Vang was caring for Elijah at the time of his disappearance. Katrina Baur is Elijah's mother. The two are in court on Monday in Manitowoc, where members of the public came in support of Elijah.
For him just to vanish into thin air, it just doesn't make any sense to us. So this is why we're here. We want answers.
According to the criminal complaint, Baur sent her son Elijah to stay with Vang on February 12th. In an interview with police, Vang stated the victim was disciplined using timeouts. The timeouts were described as standing for periods of time from 1 to 3 hours. Vang told police the timeout was intended as a form of boot camp. According to the criminal complaint, Vang reported the victim is not potty trained and is still wearing diapers. Vang told police he changed the victim's diaper at least once per day. Vang said he did not want to be mean to the victim, but was trying to teach him to be more respectful. The complaint also states Baur lives in Wisconsin Dells. In addition to child neglect, Baur is facing 2 counts of obstructing an officer. The complaint says Baur told police she wasn't in the Manitowoc County area on or around February 16th or 17th. Cell phone data contradicts that statement. Baur to being in Two Rivers on the night of the 16th. Tuesday marks 1 week since Elijah Vue was reported missing. In the criminal complaint, on the morning of February 20th, Vang woke Elijah up at 8 a.m. and brought him into his bedroom. Vang states he shut the door and fell asleep. When he woke up at 11 a.m., Vang called 911 to report Elijah was gone. In the week that has passed, community members are holding out hope for finding anything that could help bring Elijah home.
For everything in the whole wide world. I just want this little boy home with his family where he belongs.
Baur and Vang will return to court on March 7th for preliminary hearings. In Manitowoc, Andrew Mertens, Fox 11 News.
All right, so that was a pretty good recap, and
yeah, and let's just get into a little bit here, Jay, as far as the punishments. You know, it wasn't just making him stand for long times a period. It was immersing him in cold water, giving him cold baths, making him chant and pray, and it was absolutely abusive.
Absolutely, it was abusive. And the first thing they told the police were what they were doing, because they knew that if they found that little boy and he had anything, or there was anybody knew any of that, so they essentially told on themselves, got themselves arrested for, what were the charges? Child neglect, and were they different charges for each one of them?
She had two neglect, because you got to remember she's got an older daughter,
right?
She's also got charges for.
Yeah, folks, this has a lot of twists and turns, and you can go on my channel or Beyond the Evidence and go look. I have a playlist called Elijah Vue, and it tells you everything as it happens on those dates, starting from the beginning, because we were on this case pretty close to when it happened. I mean, when the blanket got found, we were like, oh, the blanket got found, and they didn't tell us. I mean, that's how deep we were into the case. And
I searched in that area where the blanket was found.
And we have you searching on the video. We were dual streaming. So we were into this case. And the family was absolutely and totally abusive. And they told on themselves, and that's why they're arrested. Now, keep in mind, on August 6th, the lawyer, Katrina Baur's lawyer, wanted to part from her because she said she was citing a conflict of interest. Now, they also, Katrina Baur, what does that mean? So it does say that it could change a hiccup in the bail hearing. Now, the bail hearing happened, and the police officer absolutely denied that her bail be lowered, because they're into trafficking and things like that. Her boyfriend and the family is into that, and she could just disappear if they get out. If they lower it to $5,000, they will absolutely disappear, folks, in my opinion, allegedly.
Just want to answer a question, Gibbo. I don't think he was just bottle fed. He was eating solid foods, not the right kind of foods, because the guy would just pretty much give him cereal in a bowl and say, here, eat it, along with only changing his diaper once a day. And when
I listen to that, I'm like, once a day? It's like once every 2 hours, if that, depending on the age, right?
Yep. Got mad at him when his diaper was full of feces. And I mean, what do you expect, dude? You need to change a diaper more often than once a day.
Wall squats or all kinds of crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, sweetie, you should look at my playlist called Elijah Vue. I mean, we go into detail, and you see the appearances in court, the charges of neglect. I mean, these people are monsters, and they told on themselves. Marv went on site, and you couldn't get out of that door, right?
That door was so heavy. The outside door to get out of the apartment building, it was so heavy. There's no way that little boy pushed that door open. Right. Absolutely not. I am creating Elijah Vue playlist. So I will have all of my videos in that playlist too. And I think I still have more videos to actually show, but I'll be recording again this weekend, and we'll have new updated footage as far as us searching.
Okay. Yeah. So boots on the ground stuff, more searching. We went back and we were doing that with JT also. I don't know what his channel's doing nowadays, but that's where I got this wristband from. So
yes, thanks to JT, that's how I got mine.
Yeah, we really want justice for Elijah, Sadie's mama. We absolutely do.
Yes.
And I mean, at this point, we all know there's two possibilities, more than likely. Either if they're into trafficking, if they did that type of thing. But I think what went wrong, in my opinion of this, is something went wrong. They abused him too far and he lost his whole life. And then they covered it up and called the police. I don't think that they ever saw him come out of that apartment, right?
No, no.
The last footage was somewhere. Was it a coffee shop? Where was it? I have it, but
yeah, it was at oh God, what, I can't remember the name of it. Was like a coffee shop, something like that. I can't remember.
That's the last footage. So yeah.
But the main thing is that police have already said they don't feel this is a trafficking situation. That's why they continue doing the searches. They've searched the dump. They searched areas. They've gone in with drones and searched areas that they couldn't get to on foot. These drones were really high tech that would show them if the ground had been disturbed, things like that. There's a reason they're doing this. They believe that little boy is still in that area. It's just a matter of where is he and when are we going to find him.
Let me show you the footage real quickly, folks, of the last. It's a 31-second clip. The last time this little boy was seen with that monster, in my opinion, Jesse Vang. Now, neither one's been convicted of anything. They're sitting in jail, can't make bond. And I got to pull up the exact charges because I need to know. I knew them before.
All right, I'm going to do that right now through Bing.
Okay, let me put this on while you do that.
Elijah Vue has been missing now for 11 days. The search continues, and this weekend, Two Rivers police say their searches will expand to rural areas. There are some new surveillance photos of Elijah from just before he disappeared on February 20th. So far, police and volunteers have been searching Two Rivers and the Manitowoc areas. The family was going to search Sheboygan County.
All right, let me show you, Rick. I'm going to stop it on there.
It was going to.
This is the last time he was seen right here with Jesse Vang.
Police and volunteers have been searching Two Rivers and the Manitowoc.
This goes really quickly. So he's there.
From just before.
There he is. Last time. Now, there's got to be cameras in the complex. Jesse Vang called 911. I assume he called 911. He said he woke up from a nap. And when he woke up from the nap, that Elijah Vue was gone. Now, Marv has gone to that building, and the door, you'd have to get out from a door to a giant heavy door.
Yep.
I don't think he left that building that way.
He also said that when they were inside the apartment, he always locked the door. Now, the door had the regular lock, a deadbolt lock, and then a slide lock up on top that Elijah could not open.
Right. Yeah, no, you went over there, and when you investigated, you said there's no way that little tiny guy, and he was small. Jesse Vang's not that big either. He's actually kind of a short in stature. Elijah is tiny. He was only 3 years old, guys.
And let me tell you that the road that is in front of the apartment building is the main road. So everybody is driving by there at all times and hours. So if this little boy happened to get out of this apartment building and started walking, somebody would have seen him. You have all kinds of apartments and houses next to it. Somebody would have seen this little boy walking around that morning.
Right. They would have seen him, or there would have been a couple scenarios, but I don't think that was the case at all.
No,
I mean, he would have also probably got hit by a car, or someone would have, it was too much traffic for that to be the case.
Yeah. And just to let you know, Katrina this is the mother, is facing child neglect and mistreatment of children. These charges stem from the alleged neglect and mistreatment of both Elijah and his 6-year-old sibling. Jesse, her boyfriend, has a history of felony and misdemeanor convictions, including child abuse and drug trafficking. However, specific charges related to Elijah's disappearance have not been detailed in the latest update. So he is just for neglect.
Thank you, Sherry Roberts, for gifting 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. And thank you, Marv, for saying that. I mean, this guy is they're in there for child neglect, both of them, and they've been in there for 5 months, as long as Elijah's been missing. But I do want the people to know that follow the Madeline Soto case. Think about Jen Soto that could be arrested for child neglect.
Exactly.
They don't want that. You know what? Jen's mom would bail her out in a hot minute, and then she would disappear after that. So child neglect it's serious to do, but it's not that serious of a crime when their bail's set at $15,000.
And
Anybody
that's
right.
the biggest differences in these cases is the fact that Katrina's mother is behind the fact that she is in custody and in jail. She wants her to remain there until she tells the police what she did with her son.
Right.
Jen Soto's mother, on the hand, would bail her out in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat. And they don't want that happening. So they're sitting back, because we know that with Jen Soto, it's at least neglect and obstructing justice, because we've seen them all over the news in her scripted interviews with Stephen Stearns that's now convicted. Right. So with this case, they didn't even try to lie. They took their phones, Jesse Vang and Katrina Baur, they took their phones, they matched up the text messages, they knew when she was there, they knew when she wasn't. These folks didn't even lie. These people, these monsters they just tried to put it off like that little boy got out.
Right.
So yeah, they didn't even try. They knew once the cops saw their stuff that they had to say, like, hey, I was making him be a man. And because the messages said that, but I'm sure they didn't say, like, hey, he passed away, or we took his life and where they hit him. I bet you they didn't say that in the text messages.
Right. But then you have police looking at geofencing. Where were they? Where did their phone ping off of?
The car.
That's why they were asking about the location, which way it went, for people to check their cameras. You know, they wanted to know exactly where that vehicle went.
Exactly. They knew, and they had a lot of information that was not only told by Katrina and Jesse, but that they found on the phones. So they're not just randomly searching everybody. They found the blanket. They found the blanket.
Yeah, they did.
They found his little blanket, which I don't know what that was about. I wonder if that was out there and kind of like staged, or they just tossed it out the window. What do you think?
I'm thinking it was stage 2, because the area that they put the blanket in, I mean, that one's got a huge national forest, you know. So I guess they could have put him there, but that is one of the places that everybody expects it to be. I think they put him in a spot that they're not. The people wouldn't think that they would put him in.
And he's tiny too, so it wouldn't be hard to hide him. Number one, sadly. Number two, you were there, and I saw you searching, and that stuff is rough. That terrain is rough. You want to tell us a little bit about you didn't dress for it, right?
Oh no. I did all right. You know, it was hot when we were there. This time is going to be even worse. So I did have my tennis shoes on, but let me tell you, getting in and under bridges and looking in culverts, and I mean, you have to really microscopically check everything because he's so small. He could be put in a barrel, a bucket, anything. So when you're searching, and another thing is you've got a lot of, and I don't know why this is there, but it's a bunch of sticks, tree branches, and everything piled onto one another. It almost looks like
a body's under it.
A beaver dam. And there's these piles all over the place. So you actually have to go to each and every single one of those and start digging it out and find the bottom and look at the bottom. And you're going through trees like crazy. It's just so expansive out there. And then you've got others that are walking through fields,
right,
and trying to find anything they can. And I mean, there's 3 cities right in a row. Boom, boom, boom. And all 3 of those have been searched. They've gone as far as searching up by all the way to Green Bay, all the way down to the Wisconsin Dells, because that is where she lives. It's just crazy. But like you said, he's tiny. He's only
Tiny.
He's only 3,
Yeah.
and they could hide him almost anywhere.
Almost anywhere. And when I saw in perspective of what you were doing, because I'm not used to that type of terrain. So when I saw those low branches and the piles, it's like every pile you have to almost go through because he could be under that pile. It could be a small hole. It could be in a rock. It could have been in the water somewhere. I mean, anywhere for a child of that size. Harmony Montgomery, for instance, like they're probably never going to find her she fit into a bag. A bag. So, I mean, I hate to think of the gruesome details, but he probably could fit into a grocery bag. And where did that go? Right.
Well,
so I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing when you're searching for these little kids, I call them babies yet. He's 3. He's not a baby, but he's a baby to me,
Well, 3 is a baby, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, especially boys. If he was still in a diaper too, I mean, he's still a baby.
Yep. So you got to remember when you're searching for these children, they can be put into anything that is small. Like you said, look at Harmony Montgomery in a bag,
Right. They hid it. They moved it to the top of the roof inside the little, you think about the size of a cube up top, those walls that push up. That's so small. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that happen in this case. And those 2 people weren't very smart either. So the text messages were seen. And yes, Katrina went and visited Jesse and lied about it. They tracked her. And they also, someone was saying, what else? She told him not to cooperate with the police, right?
That's what I heard too.
Yeah. And we thoroughly have gone through this in the old videos. Right now, we're giving an update. We want to keep Elijah out there and go over the things that happened. But there are quite a bit of twists and turns. When they found the blanket, everyone was like, I think they had already found it and they didn't disclose that information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took them a while. Well, they sent it for DNA testing.
Oh, okay. That's why.
And then as soon as they got the results back that it was his DNA on the blanket, then they released the fact that they had the blanket. And people ask me, how can we help? Join me in a search. Like I said, Saturday is going to be our big day of searching. If you want to join me, get a hold of me. Others have sent a few dollars here and there for gas and help, get dinner and pay for the hotel and everything else. But my big thing is boots on the ground. Come help. If you're in that area, come help search.
Right. And that's what got me interested in working with you and with JT, is having you boots on the ground, because I can't even imagine that area. When I saw that terrain, and you're like, oh man, I didn't bring a cell phone like holder. You said you had to hold it while you're trying to get around. It reminds me of the Lisk case where Duty Ron went to go to the Lisk. There you go.
It's never far away from me now. It goes everywhere with me.
Yeah, well, now you know.
I learned big time from that one.
Hey, Stephanie. Well, you're going to go out this weekend, and I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see how many people are there, where you are. I haven't seen anything about them doing any more searches, and I wonder what that is about. And I also wonder why they haven't charged higher charges and what they're thinking with the plea deal. I don't understand that, because he's missing and he's 3 years old, and we know he's not going to come back. So neglect. I thought they upped the charges, but I think I'm wrong.
I hope that this case does not go in the route that the Amaya Robertson case went out of Indianapolis, Indiana. They still have not found this baby. The mother's boyfriend was given a plea deal, even though he did not tell them where this baby was. He got 10 years.
Oh, no.
That's his sentence. The mother got child neglect charges, just like in this case. Time served because she's been in jail for the past couple of years. They gave her a plea deal also, but time served, so she got out. I hope it's not like this.
And did they, in the Maya Roberts case, did you say Roberts, did they tell the police that Maya was no longer alive and that's why they got the plea deal? I think you're froze, Marv. You are froze. Hello, a crime to remember. All right, I don't know. Can you hear me now? Marv, it looks a little
okay. Hang on, Jay. I'm having internet trouble here again. Are you there?
I'm here. I'm still going.
You're all garbled, so it's my end, so I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem. All right, folks. So let's get to where we are up into this case. And so they've gone to hearings a few times. She lost her lawyer. And what else? Hold on. We're going to get to it. We have some videos today. Elijah was tortured, Kirsten Miller, and they even told the police that they tortured him. And yet their charges are still pretty low and there's no body. Which is absolutely just, I can't believe this, because every time I look on the internet, or look at, you're in here twice. Hold on.
Boot the other one. Oh.
Yeah, I did boot the other one. All right. So what do you got? And then if you want to share something, and I'm going to share my video after that.
Let me see here.
Yeah. Marv does dress for it now, I believe. She's been, I think she's learned. It always takes time to learn. Yeah, area does sound horrible. And I saw it and I was like, wow, I didn't even know branches were that low. Where I live, branches are not that low.
The branches on our trees are always low because you have a lot of pine trees in this area. And a lot of people keep the branches low because, the animals and the deer. Others let tree farms take the lower branches and make them into wreaths.
Wisconsin. Right. Yeah, no, I saw that and I said, oh, you guys, bless you all for doing that. I mean, the JT was supposed to get those waders and he wanted to wear his boots because it was really, I know there was some tough terrain, and then waters. They wanted to search in the water because he could have been in a mud hole in the water, anything. All right. So are you ready to share anything, or do you want me? I can start sharing.
I cannot find
the
video, but it was in an article. So
okay, I'm gonna play a video. I have it talks about Elijah Vue, 3-year-old that has been missing since February. Everybody, we're in August, so February to August is 5 months. His mother's been charged, Katrina Baur, and has been to court many times. And they were supposed to do a plea hearing, or she was supposed to change her plea on July 26th and I'm assuming to guilty, or they were going to come to some plea agreement, but we have not heard. The only thing I heard was that they went, and that's it. So hopefully we can keep you posted on that. I don't know why it's so hush. I wish she would tell them, as a matter of fact, where the body was, and just do a deal like that. Now, if she does, Marv, if she does that, keep in mind that she could get like 10 years and be out in 7 or 8. With how many years? No, she's only been there months, but she can get a low sentence if she tells on Jesse. He called me, told me to come over. He was too harmful, too abusive, and little Elijah died.
Right.
So we have to think about that and maybe why they're keeping it quiet. Right. Right, Kristen. All right, I'm going to play this video while Marv looks for her stuff.
Yeah.
And it's about police deleted images showing missing Elijah Vue blindfolded with bruises. Now, yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Trigger warning if they show something, I don't think they're going to show it, but just thinking of Elijah Vue being blindfolded with bruises, I'm assuming that Jesse Vang was sending those pictures to Katrina because he was the one that was doing the torture, as far as I'm concerned right now, what we know. Now, who is charged with it, Stacey? Katrina Baur, his mom, and Jesse Vang, the mom's boyfriend. That's who's been charged, but they haven't been charged with anything other than child neglect and what was the other charge? They're not really serious charges, and the bond is only $15,000. So child neglect is one. Yeah, we're gonna play this right now, but I'm just waiting to hear that. I just can't remember child neglect and. You better look it up real quick. Are you having internet trouble?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. All right. Are there some people here that are new to the case? Oh, look at DC Sly. What's up? Thank you for being a new member. All right. Katrina actually took the pictures when she was there. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Cassie. I don't have all the old information, but Katrina took the pictures when she was there. It's in the plea statement, and I'm glad that you remember.
Yep.
If you know what the exact charges are, either way, those pictures were on her phone. Maybe she's texted them to him. I don't know what they were doing or why you would even take those pictures.
Yeah, the only thing with Jesse, they have one count of being party to the crime of child neglect.
Okay.
And Katrina had 2 counts of resisting or obstructing an officer for lying, I believe, also.
So those are the exact things that I always tell everyone Jen Soto could be arrested for. So same thing. You got 2 people and there's a crime committed and the mom didn't do something about it or enabled it. Let it happen.
Right.
All right.
Well, in this case, that's definitely the case because she specifically took this little boy there to get disciplined.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. And she told them that because she wanted him to be a man like Jesse, which was also a trafficker. All right.
This morning, the mother of missing toddler Elijah Vue is in our spotlight after a judge has delayed her plea hearing until next week. Defendant Katrina Baur appeared briefly in court on Thursday. She's charged with chronic child neglect and obstructing an officer's business. Now, her 3-year-old child, this beautiful baby, Elijah, has been missing since February. Court documents say that Baur left her child with her boyfriend, Jesse Vang, because he was misbehaving and Vang was supposed to be disciplining him. Take a listen to what Elijah's grandma had to say.
I want my grandson to be home with my family. So I want everybody to continue. Don't stop. Just searching for my baby Elijah.
Oh, that precious child. Now, police say they found a deleted picture of Elijah on Baur's phone showing him blindfolded on a bed in Vang's apartment with what appears to be bruises on his jaw, on his neck, and on his arm. And back in February, Jesse Vang told police that he just woke up from a nap and then suddenly couldn't find little Elijah. He's charged with chronic child abuse as well. So what's it going to take for someone to tell us?
And yeah, I paused during so we can talk. So
yeah.
That should have gave you guys.
I mean, you know that there was more than just making this little boy stand, that he was physically harming this little boy, in my opinion. You know that happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Without him admitting it.
I mean, why would he even have, well, first of all, blindfolded is torture. Having bruises like that, I when you say baby, I'm like, it's funny because my daughter's going to be 10. And I always ask my wife, hey, can you go pick up the baby? Or I'm going to go pick up the baby. I'll be right back. She's almost as tall as me and she's going to be 10 and it's still the baby. Right now, the baby's sick. She's got, her fever came back again. It's my baby. Yeah, her fever keeps spiking and then it goes down and I think it's gone and it comes back.
Right.
So like that breaks my heart and I'm like worried and I actually worked from home today because I thought it would be her last day off of it. I thought, okay, her fever's going to break. It's been 4 days. Nope. Spike back up. So kids, man, I would take any little kid. You guys don't want your kid? Come on. Reese needs a brother or sister. I can't understand.
Well, you got to think about the trauma of making him stand all these hours on end, physically assaulting him. Okay, we know that happened with
right.
But then you have to look at how small he was, what his weight was, and we know that he was putting him in these cold showers and cold baths. Well, that right there, along with the trauma he took in, could have ended his life.
And I think that it did. If you look at Shonda Vander Ark, look at what happened to her 15-year-old son, Timothy.
Yeah.
Timothy was 15, and they did exactly what you're saying. The cold showers, the not feeding. The only difference was the no diapers. And guess what? He passed away from it being an accumulation of time.
And that took some time. I think with Elijah being as small as he was, it
wouldn't take that long.
Yeah, it would have happened a lot sooner.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Auntie Ree? 125, good number. Yeah, everybody in here is definitely, you guys are all mama bears and fans of your babies. My 12-year-old just had a fever, was high for 3 days. Then she was better. COVID. Yeah, I want to clarify that too, Eve. My daughter's, there's no COVID. It's not mono. It's nothing weird like that. But when my daughter gets sick, it's like a power, like it's like 5 days of it, and then she's better. So, yeah, it just is what it is. It's she went back to school for 2 days after being off from summer for 2 months and got sick immediately from those kids. So yeah, he's okay. Yep, it will do it. Those kids, they all share their junk with each other, and their dirty hands. She comes home all grubby from the kids. All right, let's play this a little more, and then we'll stop and answer questions.
Where little Elijah is, that baby's become known as Wisconsin's toddler, and we have a very special guest on the program to talk about this case, someone who's really become beloved all across America and really in parts around the world. He is a personal injury lawyer now, the former chief judge of Florida's 9th Judicial Circuit. You saw him presiding over the Casey Anthony trial in Florida. The Honorable Belvin Perry is with us. Judge, good morning. Thank you for your time today.
Good morning, Julie. How you doing?
Oh, wonderful. Thanks. We're always better when we get to see you, Judge. And you're such a bright light in this world. And this is just one of those cases we keep wanting to put our spotlight on because it seems that the person who should want the most answers isn't being helpful. This mother, this Katrina Baur. Your thoughts on her and what may be going on here, please, Judge?
Unfortunately, it is a disturbing pattern now with moms that are bringing men into the lives of their children and giving them complete authority over those children without any concern for those kids. And to leave a precious 3-year-old child with a man who's basically, as stated in text messages, that he's going to make sure that a 3-year-old toddler hates him and fears him. So unfortunately, there's no question as the outcome is not going to be good. And I think the outcome in this case, we're going to end up finding this precious child's body somewhere.
I think you're right, Judge. You know, we all had so much hope that he would be found alive. I mean, we're talking.
You know, what's interesting, Marv, is I never thought after like week 1 or week 2 that they would find him alive just because of what the parents told us. We know that it was a small fraction of what really happened. So I do think they pushed it to the extreme and he passed away. They went and hid his body. And then after that, then they called the police when everything was all, that's just my opinion though.
Well, and I don't think that if the police truly thought it was trafficking, they wouldn't be out there searching as extensively as they have been using the drones and all that. Yeah, there would have been searches, but not as extensive as it has been.
You know what's interesting about, I mean, that Sebastian Rogers too, why they, even though they said there was no crime yet and nothing, they're not looking at anybody. They spent so much on resources searching in the weirdest places for him. So, I mean, I feel like they have more information, and they're really with Jesse Vang's boyfriend, Katrina Baur's the mom. I really do think that they know more and they want to keep them in so they could chart. Not only do they know more, their intuition is as good as ours. They probably know that he's already gone, but they just don't have a body.
Yes, and I truly believe that in this case, that is why we are not seeing any further charges. They are waiting to find his body. They know they know and believe it's gonna happen.
Right.
They're still going through evidence, looking in areas that evidence points to, things like that. And another reason they're not charging him yet with those charges is because you only get one shot. If it's all circumstantial evidence and they take their shot and they charge them both
Right.
with something happening to Elijah and they're acquitted, that's it. So instead, they're keeping them in jail with the neglect charges while they continue searching for him and continue building their case and getting the evidence that they need to show that he's gone and that they did it.
And I agree. And that's with many cases like Jen Soto. If they get one shot and they don't want these little petty child neglect things that will get you like a year, that's petty right now for Jesse and Katrina as well.
Yes.
And that's why they're holding back. They're not going to ever lower that bond. They want to charge them the next step up before.
They're keeping that bond just high enough to where neither one of them can pay it to get out.
And it's crazy because for being in trafficking, Jesse being in trafficking, and you got to remember, if you don't know, Elijah's dad is a Vang family member, whether it's his brother or his cousin.
And
he's also a Vang. And they also trafficked Katrina. She was selling her body, right?
Yes.
So Katrina was selling her body with the Vang family, and they can't come up with $15,000 bail. I don't know what's going on with that.
And there's information, or allegedly, that Katrina told Jesse that she was on her way to the apartment and Jesse should just put him to sleep. And they also went out and had a night at the bar.
Oh, but he was left with the older child, right? Now we found that out.
Supposedly left with Jesse's older child,
which could potentially be a witness.
And this was only 2 days before Elijah supposedly went missing.
Right. So this is in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, folks. I'm going to go ahead and play this video some more so we can get on to what Marv has.
Okay, we're going back to February in the cold in Wisconsin, and folks there searching for him. Community members joining in have dubbed him Wisconsin's toddler. And it just said that as a community, we're trying to come together and find him. And we know that Katrina Baur hasn't been truthful. We know that she lied to police about when she had gone back to the area where her boyfriend's apartment was. And so we know there's that much she lied about. I'm curious what's been going on recently. Tell me, judges, she's been locked up. What do you think investigators have been doing behind the scenes to perhaps get to the truth of what occurred here?
I think they're doing, number one, tracking the movements of Jesse Vang before and after, trying to see what type of contact was between the two of them, and checking cameras to see whether or not there's any photo evidence of him being spotted with the child outside of the house. This has some striking similarities to the Soto case in the Orlando, Florida area, where the mom lied, said the child was last seen by her at 7 a.m. in the morning. There's evidence to show that the child probably was deceased before that time. And there's video evidence showing the defendant in that case with the child, which appeared to be dead in the backseat of a car. So I think the police are painstakingly taking their time, trying to dot the I's and cross the T's to put together a rock solid case. But it's like putting together a jigsaw puzzle.
That's what I said.
Would like
Yep,
sooner.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I like showing court TV things and updates and talking about things because it validates. Neither one of us is in law enforcement, or detectives or any of that. But when we're on the case and we're digging into it, we understand what happens, and it's textbook stuff, right?
Yeah,
it's textbook. It becomes textbook when someone's spouse dies, and all of a sudden they're like, "I refuse an autopsy and get them cremated."
Yep. Well, when you watch as much criminal trial or criminal cases or trials and everything else that I've watched, I do consider myself experienced in this field. Yes, I've never gone to school for it and, never took classes on it, but you do get an education just from continually watching things and studying things, and that's kind of where we are as YouTubers.
That is where we are. I mean, I've been watching this stuff since I was little with my mom. I would watch the real stuff. Richard Ramirez was in Los Angeles when we lived there, and that's when I first learned you have to lock your windows in the heat of summer and why. So I was young, and then from there, my mom always watches the damn news, which is like crime. And now I'm reporting on it.
I don't watch regular TV anymore. It's all YouTube.
Yeah, that's me until I get in trouble and I'm told I need to watch something else. With my wife's there, my daughter's like, we need to watch something else, of course.
Okay, then I'm like, okay, time for some lion and tiger shows. Let's watch a little coin pusher video. Okay, we can do that. And then it's like
documentaries. We like documentaries.
I'm like earwax removal, pimple popping. Okay, I'm not watching true crime anymore.
That's me too.
That and I go right back to it.
I know, me too. I have my Sundays where I'm not allowed to watch it. I gotta watch what my wife wants to watch, and then I'm on Monday. I'm like fiending to watch true crime and figure out what happened, what I missed. So,
and just to answer a question I'm seeing in both chats, what my take on it is. Everybody's asking, did Katrina have something to do?
Thank you for answering this.
Directly with Elijah's death, in my opinion.
Right.
Even if she was not physically there when something happened to Elijah, in my opinion, she still is directly the cause of it because she's the one that took that little boy to that man.
Just like Jen Soto saying, go to your room with Stephen Stearns. I have a headache.
If she would have never taken that little boy to him, and we know that it was for discipline to become a man, because that they have admitted to, then yes, she is absolutely guilty.
And they admitted they definitely scripted their story together. They had a story that they told each other, and then they called 911 and said he was missing. So everything that they scripted, when they have him in a separate room, they said the same things, folks. Yep. So Katrina is not only, in my opinion, just as guilty because she took him there. In my opinion, she knows exactly what happened, and she will probably be the first one to break, to be honest with you, because that usually happens. The lesser of the weaker one, which will probably be her, not the guy that's trafficking her, she'll probably end up rolling on him for a deal.
I hope so. But in the end, I think that if and when charges are brought, it needs to be equally brought on both of them.
I 110% agree. That's not how the justice system works. However, I do want to know what happened to Elijah, and I do know there's always a lesser person that's not going to talk, and they do that on purpose. I mean, with let's say Chris and Katie, right? The Proudfoots. Let's say that if they have an interest. If Chris goes out and cheats on her right now and they get Katie by herself and she's mad at him, who knows what she's going to say. I mean, I kind of wait for that day to happen where he's not all in her face telling her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in this case, okay, she's behind bars. Are they finally medicating her? Because she does have some mental problems from what we've heard. And once they get medication and get leveled off and their minds become more clear, then yes, all of a sudden they'll be like, this is what happened, and they'll give her a deal, you know.
They will. I hope that deal is not 10 years, but I guess it depends on what actually happened. If it was that he I'm going to call it over abused, just they were abusing him and overly abused him and they had to dispose of his body. We know she came that night when she said she wasn't there. Maybe she wasn't with him. It might be a Kayla Montgomery thing too, where she doesn't know where the body is, but she knows that there was a body.
Oh no. I
do too. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I respect your opinion, but I firmly believe that if she wasn't there when it happened, she was there shortly after, and she went with him. He made her go with.
Right.
To dispose of Elijah's body.
Which is insane because the more people that know, the higher the chances are that we're going to find out and the police are going to find out because somebody always rolls on the other one, right?
Right.
The police are going to say, you're going to get the death penalty and they're going to get whatever they threaten you with.
He don't care.
He doesn't care. No, but he doesn't care about talking. He cares about being in there, but he'll just shut up. I think she's the one that's the weaker one. And I've seen it. I've seen how meek she is. She doesn't speak up. Now, she just lost her lawyer for a conflict of interest, which I wonder what that might be with that lady that's been on there the whole time. So maybe she told her something that, it could be anything, but I'm curious what that is. All right, let me play this a little more.
Have to make sure that the parts fit.
Isn't that the truth, Judge? Really appreciate the comparison you just made to the Madeline Soto case, because that's another one, as you know, that we've been really focused on heavily in justice for that beautiful teenager who deserved to live and suffered so much, allegedly, at the hands of mom's boyfriend. And so in both of these cases, as you're noting, Judge, we have these boyfriends who were said by police to be bad actors here, and women involved with them, who seem to be untruthful for whatever reason. And I'm wondering, with Katrina Baur's plea hearing, as you know, Judge, it was set for yesterday, and then it was suddenly continued to July 26th. And we don't know what this is going to be about. We've heard rumblings that she perhaps may be making some admissions, perhaps may be cooperating. We just don't know if she's going to plead to what she's already charged with or if she's going to offer up some more information. I'm curious what you think about what will happen.
There's a great possibility that she may be going through what is known as a proffer to the prosecution as to what she knows about this case, and for them to verify that proffer to see whether or not it will be helpful in solving the possible homicide of her child. So, and she's probably trying to get the best possible deal, trying to make sure that she may not be, in fact, charged with being an accessory to the murder of her child. And they're probably trying to get some indications as to whether she's had any contact with Mr. Vang to determine the location of the body.
Mm-hmm. Judge, that's a really great insight that perhaps she's going to offer up information if she has it by way of proffer, as you said, to potentially save herself and turn state's evidence, if she is, and if Jesse Vang did anything criminal here. We know that...
It's funny when they say if. Yeah, we both said if.
I mean, I know they have to say allegedly and if and stuff like that, but... And I don't ever want to take hope away from a family.
Right. Misty Free Spirit says hello.
Yeah, I was raving to her before.
Okay.
I don't ever want to take hope away from a family. In my mind, it's like 99% he's gone, 1% chance of him being somewhere else.
Right.
Could I be wrong? Absolutely. I wish I hope that 1% is right. I just don't believe it is.
Well, and I mean, statistics are not always that great, but statistically, and for a 3-year-old to be missing, unless he was trafficked and still alive, in that case, who knows what condition he was in? There's no other way a 3-year-old could survive those terrains.
No.
In any other, unless he got out and someone kidnapped him, and then he's kidnapped or trafficked. And I hate to say that, but I mean, I'm not trying to, I want to be as upfront about these cases as possible. So I don't know who that judge is. Is that Casey Anthony judge? I was trying to look up.
Yes, that is the Casey Anthony judge.
Okay, New York baby boomer. That is the Casey Anthony judge. First, I thought she was saying, asking about the one at the courthouse for Katrina. And I'm like, no, because they're in a different state. But thank you. All right, let's wrap this one up. And
yeah,
then
I've got two short ones that I found.
Okay, cool.
Police have spoken out, Judge, about abusive treatment in his apartment, that Katrina Baur wanted her to teach her son to be a man. He's 3. Judge, I know you must be appalled at this. Your thoughts, please.
How do you teach a kid to become a man when you inflict punishment of having him pray and stand for hours on end, 2 to 3 hours? You don't teach a child to become a man at age 3. That is clearly abusive. He's a child of tender years. You don't discipline a child in that way. Matter of fact, that's clear-cut evidence of abuse. And for the mother to let that go on is shameful, to say the least.
It sure is. The Honorable Belvin Perry, we love having you on this program. Thank you so much for your insight and expertise on this. Would love to have you back again soon.
Thank you.
Take good care, Judge. And when we return, after days of being deadlocked, the jury finally reached.
All right, Michael Jackson, Bologna, whoever that is. All right, we're done with that. All right. Yeah, I mean, all theories are relevant, folks, but when you look at the facts of this case and them telling the police that they were abusing this child, more than likely they abused him to a far extent and they disposed of his body. So at first, I kind of thought the trafficking situation might be when I heard about Jesse's past, but everybody has their own theory. I see people saying that they think, Elijah got sold or whatever, but they wouldn't sell a kid in that condition either. They wouldn't be abusing him. And then I don't think so, but yeah. All right. What do you got, Marv? Thank you.
All right. I think I can do it now here.
Yeah, I think you have all the access to do that. I know, Davey, those two are not mutually exclusive. Nothing I say on this channel is a fact unless I'm reading it from a document, and then that they can still get the document wrong. So these are my theories based on the evidence that I've seen with this case. Absolutely. Yeah, you can play devil's advocate as much as you want. All right, so I did that.
All right.
I added it to the stage. You can play it.
The mother of missing Two Rivers toddler Elijah Vue was back in court today for a scheduling conference and instead learned that her attorney wants out. Katrina Baur's attorney, Ann Larson, filed a motion this morning to withdraw as Baur's lawyer, stating that she has a conflict of interest in the case. Baur has already been appointed a new attorney. She's facing several charges, including felony chronic child neglect. She's scheduled to be back in court again this Wednesday for a bail hearing. There has been no sign of little Elijah since February 20th.
Okay, so that is the big one. It's felony child neglect.
Right.
So, yes.
And that's why she's been held so long.
Yep. All right, let me find the other one here that I found.
I do find it interesting that the defense attorney drops right in the middle of a plea deal happening, because that is not a time that you would normally do that unless it was really bad. I've noticed when other attorneys try to drop a case, the judge will say no, especially in a time like that. So I wonder what it might I wonder what we're never really going to know what the conflict of interest was, but we can speculate all day. Thank you, Misty. All right. Another one for us. Yeah, I'm glad it's a felony too, but it won't hold her for too long, Princess Mish. It definitely, unless she pleas with them, and you heard them speculating that there might be a plea deal. If the proffer gives enough information, they'll take it. And Crystal, hashtag arrest Jen Soto. You're right.
All right.
I saw this one.
Oh, hang on.
You gotta rewind it. Be kind, please rewind.
Elijah Vue's mother reaches a plea deal. I'm Preston Stober outside of the Manitowoc County Courthouse, where Katrina Baur did not appear in person today, but her attorney spoke on her behalf. Baur is being charged with child neglect, but not directly in Elijah Vue's disappearance. We do not have any information on what the deal is, but a plea hearing was scheduled for July 18th. I reached out to the defense and the prosecution, but have not heard anything back. 3-year-old Elijah disappeared more than 4 months ago on February 20th. Katrina Baur's partner, Jesse Vang, is also being charged with child neglect. He's due back in court in September. And Manitowoc, Preston Stober, NBC 26. Elijah Vue.
All right, so I want to give that one to you just because, it talked about the plea deal.
Pull it down?
Nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what this plea deal is. But that come September, which August is we're halfway through.
Right.
He'll be back in court. So are you right in the fact that she is talking to police, and through this plea deal, she's going to give information that will find Elijah, hopefully, and pin this all on Jesse, or get a later sentence by the plea deal? I don't know, because they said it's all part of the child neglect. So is she pleading?
Yeah, but they let us know that. They wouldn't tell us. It is part of the child neglect, because technically that's what she's being charged with. They wouldn't say, well, we're in the works of upping the child neglect to this. They're not even saying a plea deal. They're saying she's talking about changing her plea.
Right.
Which doesn't mean anything about, they didn't even word it the way that I would like it to be worded. So,
right.
And then the lawyer drops off in the middle of that. That's weird.
Is she only changing her plea when it comes to the daughter's charges and not Elijah's? I don't know.
Well, we're not going to know. So they did move that date on the 18th to the 26th. And then on August 6th, the attorney withdrew herself with conflict of interest. What did Katrina not want to tell enough? Did she tell her, hey, this is what happened, but this is what I want you to do with the plea? Because they do that sometimes. They tell, like, hey, I know where the body is, but this is what I want to get out of it. And she's like, I can't do that. Like, that's not ethically, I'm not going to do that. Is it an ethical conflict of interest? Is it a personal conflict? Like, what kind of conflict could that be right then? And did a judge allow it? Right. Sometimes they don't allow it. Sometimes they say, no, get your ass back in there and work it out. So I'm interested to know what is up with that.
Right.
I was talking about the Timothy Ferguson case earlier, and it reminds me of that. Absolutely. Take that and times it by 10, because that kid was 15 and Elijah is only 3.
Yes. Thank you, Misty Free Spirit, for becoming a member.
Yes. Davey, you're so funny. Who is who decides who is human?
Yeah.
I don't know. And what is the meaning of life, Davey? Yeah, I love that. It's funny.
And
all right.
I saw a comment of what is with all these kids going missing in February.
Christmas is over. They're like, no, I don't know. I don't know.
Here it's
February.
Yeah, and here you got to remember it's cold in February.
Right.
The kids are shackled up in the houses and in school, and
very true.
They're not getting their vitamin D from the sun. They're not getting to run and exercise like they would be in the spring, summer, and fall. And I think some parents just go loopy at this time and decide to do bad things to their kids.
That's interesting. I mean, I'm sure that's part of it. But it's interesting theory because every single day now I'm sent from the mods something about a child. I just saw one and I can't remember the name where they stapled the child to the wall.
Yes.
Oh God. I'm like, so I started looking into that and then I see somebody else covering that. Somebody else that I'm not going to say, not because I don't like sharing content creators. I just don't like this particular one.
Yeah.
So,
gotcha.
But the thing is that it's every single day that I'm getting something like this, or it comes up on my feed because of what we do.
Yes. And sometimes it's multiple times a day and it's so heartbreaking.
Well, they have something, right, where they say every 10 seconds, whatever.
That's
I mean, it's happening all the time, but those are the ones that get caught. Think about the ones that don't get caught.
Yep, I agree.
You know what? I got a little 2-minute clip of Katrina in court, and I kind of want to play that so you guys can see how meek she is. This was her last court hearing. She always has dark circles, and she looks like she's like, on the edge, and she's quiet. And it's like, if anyone's gonna flip and she's gonna plea, it's probably gonna be her. Jesse doesn't give a shit.
No,
he's thug life. He's thug for life. He don't care. He'll do his time, get out, and go right back to it. That's his family too, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, let's watch this for
the fact that this is a motion to withdraw because of a conflict and not because of like a breakdown in client communication or anything like that. Where do you fall on it?
Judge, because it is a motion withdraw based upon an actual conflict with the case, the state has no objection.
All right. And my understanding is in regards to both a bail motion and a motion that Attorney Larson had filed previously about specificity that you guys have been given a date for August 7th at 2:45. And Attorney Larson, you'll be able to, I guess, effectuate the appointment of Attorney Gratz prior to that so that we can we can at least take up the bail motion?
Judge, we will do the appointment paperwork today. I also will deliver the discovery to her. I did let her know that the court is willing to hear the bail motion if she's prepared to proceed. If she's not, I just asked her to notify the court.
Okay, so I guess we'll leave the 7th at 2:45 on then, and hopefully we can at least take up the bail motion.
Did he say it was a personal conflict? Because a lot of times that's the only time they'll let you off. Because that judge or that attorney was actually there. She wanted off, but she was still there for that bail hearing.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to change lawyers, and then you got this lawyer that knows about the case, and they got to sign their rights off that they don't know anything and they can't talk about it.
Right.
And get everything up. So I mean, it's not an easy process just to change lawyers, especially ones that are appointed. So
it had to be something major for them to let her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because he would say, hey, you got dates coming up here in the middle of a freaking plea. What are you doing, lady? Get back in there and finish your job. That they usually do that.
Right.
I didn't realize that. But I mean, look at Jody Arias. Jody Arias' attorney. He retired because the judge made him get back on that case. And he's traumatized, 20, however many years later, 15 years, whatever.
Kurt Nurmi,
right? Good one. All right, let's listen to this. It's almost over.
Motion, and then we'll probably need to let Attorney Gratz get up to speed before we do anything else. But I think that's all we'll need to be able to schedule for today. Attorney Labrie, is there anything else you think we need?
No, Judge, thank you.
Attorney Larson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, then I'll just make sure that if Attorney Gratz reaches out to us with problems about the 7th date that we'll get in touch with the state as quick as we can. All right, you guys are set. You can disconnect. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Vue, you can let the
Wow, they didn't even show. Hold
Yeah.
on real quick. They didn't. I have one that's just quick that shows her in court. You know, those the little YouTube, the thumbnails, they they didn't show, they showed her and then they never showed her. So
Right.
yeah, so it's okay. I have that one, but again, I don't think they show her. We'd have to watch like minutes of it. But I'll just show a picture of her real quick. Hold on. And then we can have whatever you do and be good. All right. So I mean, that's kind of how she's looked most of the time, right?
Yes.
She's got the dark circle. She sits there real quiet. The judge tells her to speak up.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't show her in these ones. The clips or just of her lawyer, 31-second of her lawyer withdrawing.
New York City baby boomer, I'm right there with you on the Jodi Arias. I'd watched that trial too. Oh, that woman.
All right. What else you got? And then we'll be out of here for today.
Yeah, that is basically all I have until we head down there on Friday. And I'm already prepared. I'm going to have flip-flops. I don't care if I get wet. You know, it's summertime. Unlike in February when it was cold and I was sinking into wet, soggy ground and stuff and getting my shoes and socks all wet and freezing. This
Do you
time,
have a picture of it? Do you have any pictures or like a map or an area you can show us that you're searching at all?
let me see.
If you do,
If
I know some people were asking about the terrain and like where it was. So if you have anything to share, that would be cool before we head out. And then people can see what Marv's doing. Is your sister going as well?
Yes, she is.
Okay, yeah. She's your road dog, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I always say that she's got some gifts that other people don't have, and something I don't have, and she has insisted where she believes he is, and that's where we're going to search.
All right. Well, hey, whatever's gonna, keep it open like that. Keep the case going.
And they're like, well, we might need a boat or a canoe or something. I'm like, I'll find a way to get there.
Right.
It's that time of year. I guess we're going swimming.
Right. Man, yeah, I'm looking at this. There's a video. There's I don't know, you guys, there were 170 something people in here. A lot of people dropped out. So I don't know if you already know about the case or you're just kind of, there's other cases going on, but I have a video of that shows some of the terrain while you're looking on Court TV. It talks about this seven chilling details about the case, and it shows you the terrain and all the kind of stuff. So it's a really good video, and I know my crime crews used to me going at least an hour and a half, most of the time 2 hours, so I don't mind. My daughter's still sleeping.
For the Wisconsin woman accused of abusing her 3-year-old son. This nearly 1 month after Elijah Vue was last seen.
So now she's facing additional charges with much higher penalties.
Now, a grandmother turning against her own daughter as the search for her grandson trudges into its 3rd week.
I don't feel it's worth the risk to lower her bond, especially
I forgot about that.
The victim has not been found and many questions are unanswered.
And for the first time, we're hearing from Elijah's caretaker, who first reported the boy missing.
Yeah, I just got a question I want to put in a motion for bail reduction.
Plus, the Northeast Wisconsin community comes together, still searching for little Elijah.
He's become like Wisconsin. That's what it looks like there, guys. And I'm going to play this because I forgot about a lot of these things.
Yeah.
I forgot about her mom telling on her and telling her not to reduce her bail. I forgot about a lot of this. And we cover so many cases.
His little boy, but he's also become like nationally, everybody's little boy.
Katrina Baur and Jesse Vang both appeared in Manitowoc County Court on Thursday for what was supposed to be a preliminary hearing, but plans quickly changed when prosecutors announced new charges.
The matter's on the calendar for a preliminary hearing today.
I had an opportunity to talk with counsel earlier. Attorney Larson
Thank you.
had filed previously a motion to modify bail. And then I think it was late yesterday, he filed a motion to dismiss count 1. My understanding after talking with counsel is that Attorney LaBrie anticipates filing an amended complaint. And based on that, the parties are asking to adjourn the preliminary hearing 1 week.
Now, on top of her obstruction charge for allegedly lying to police about her location, Katrina Baur's original felony charge of neglecting a child was upgraded to chronic neglect of a child. Prosecutors also added another misdemeanor charge of neglecting a child.
We have now changed count 1 to chronic neglect as party to the crime. We have also added the count 4, which involves neglect to another child who is 6 years old from February 14th. So now she's facing additional charges with much higher penalties.
All of this.
All right. Did you have anything you wanted to say? Well, I thought I would put some of this out there for the people that don't know. Now, this isn't up. These are the up-to-date things that we had at the beginning, and now we're just showing you what's happened in this case. So I wish more people were covering Elijah Vue. It's hard to find anything on it. If you notice in the beginning, Marv, everybody was kind of on it, and then after that, they forgot about it.
Exactly, and that's why, I gotta try to do like a weekly or bi-weekly update on this case just to keep it out there. And then also by going and searching and showing my videos and stuff of that, it's gonna be important.
It definitely helps. It helps. Let me play a little bit more, and then you can share your stuff.
Okay.
We still have people in here. So.
Stems from the disappearance of 3-year-old Elijah Vue, who was last seen on Tuesday, February 20th in Two Rivers, Wisconsin. That's about 30 minutes south of Green Bay. At the time, Elijah was staying with Jesse Vang, his mother's boyfriend. According to court documents, Baur dropped her son off with Vang, who planned to keep the boy for about a week. The purpose of the visit was simple: to teach the 3-year-old how to be a man. An original criminal complaint details gruesome accusations of abuse at the hands of Vang, who referred to the discipline as timeouts, but compared them to boot camp. This included making Elijah stand up for 3 hours at a time and repeatedly chant, "I'm sorry, mommy." Vang also threatened Elijah with cold water, something he knew the boy was afraid of. It was Vang who reported Elijah missing at about 11 a.m. on February 20th. Vang told investigators he went to take a nap at about 8 o'clock that morning. He said Elijah was in the room when he fell asleep, but had vanished when Vang woke up 3 hours later. Court documents state that while Vang was sleeping, he would, quote, lock the door to the apartment at the doorknob, deadbolt, and with a security chain attached at the top of the door to keep the victim from walking out of the apartment. Both Vang and Baur were later charged with child abuse and booked on $20,000 and $15,000 bonds, respectively.
Your Honor, we are asking that the court reduce the bond to one of a signature. I would note that
now Jesse has the 20,000 and Katrina has the 15. Is that correct?
I believe so. Yes.
Now, it's all coming back to us now, right? All these cases here, and like, man, all those things are very relevant to this case. As we kind of came in and we're like, hey, this is what's happening now. All of this stuff is going to mean something as this keeps going. It does. It does. Even her own mom would say that.
Ms. Baur is a resident of Wisconsin. She's a lifelong resident of Wisconsin. She has no serious records. She has 2 prior CMs of disorderly conduct and 2 CTs. She had no misses in the 2 CMs, which were in 2011 and 2015.
That was Katrina Baur's attorney, Ann Larson. Together, they appeared at the hearing via Zoom from the Manitowoc County Jail on Thursday. You can see Baur in the video wearing an orange jumpsuit.
Ms. Baur did suffer a significant brain injury in 2015. I do not know if that contributed, but that would be my guess. She has some difficulty regarding dates and things of that nature. She did have a neuro assessment done. I do not yet have that, but she is receiving SSDI for that condition. As I stated, she's a resident.
Fast forward a little bit. I don't care about her that much. I want to hear about him.
Who has this kid? It was heartbreaking.
But that additional abuse allegation wasn't the only thing we learned in court. On top of that, prosecutors alleged Baur told Vang not to cooperate with law enforcement.
There it is.
It's clear that this defendant is facing some serious charges and there's grave concern. She knows she's facing potential imprisonment, which is an incentive to flee. She also was encouraging the co-actor not to cooperate with law enforcement.
Local resident Lori Hamblin, who is assisting in the search for Elijah, told our cameras she was upset to learn about these new allegations, in addition to what she thinks is puzzling behavior on the part of Katrina Baur.
Every individual cannot help but try to figure out what happened, where he is, and why they're not giving us more information. And what also struck me too was the fact that even on the 20th, through text messaging, she had told Jesse to not talk to the police. Do not see him. Call an attorney. As a mother, your first words should be, "Where's my son? Tell me what happened. We need to get help."
An amended criminal complaint paints an even darker picture about Vang and Baur's alleged abuse. Days before Elijah went missing, quote, Katrina Baur and Jesse Vang begin discussing Katrina coming to Jesse's apartment for sex. Jesse says that Katrina cannot see victim, child one, that's Elijah, when she gets to the apartment, and that Elijah can be placed in the bathroom while they have sex. A few days later, disturbing text messages were sent between the pair. When Jesse Vang messages Katrina Baur, "I told you to trust me. I'ma make sure he hates me and being here." She responded, "Don't want him to hate you, just fear you." Jesse responds, "It's okay, someone had to be the bad person." In addition to these new revelations in court, prosecutors also read a harrowing statement straight from Baur's mother.
Rather than aligning in locating her son, she feels the need to reiterate what a good guy Jesse is and is fully defending him and his actions. By aligning with him, she could potentially have access to his extended family and ability to flee the area. Katrina routinely will blame anyone and everyone.
That's the key right there. When her mom's saying that.
Exactly.
And then hearing what we just heard too, I forget about a lot of this stuff about how she was there and she went over to have sex and she was fine, put him in the bathroom and letting Jesse be the bad guy. Like, I mean, she totally is with whatever he did. She knows she was with him.
Yeah, she knows fully what he was doing to that little boy.
And what happened to him.
Right.
I hope that she talks soon. I hope we hear about that plea. I'm going to go a little bit further. And then you can share your pictures.
So it was Vang himself who questioned the judge about bond.
Yeah, I just got a question I want to put in a motion for bail reduction.
Yeah, what I'll have you do is this. Put in writing the reasons that you want to have your bail modified. Get that filed through the jail with the clerk of court, and we'll take it up at the next hearing on Wednesday, okay?
Okay. Who do I direct the judge to?
Me.
Okay.
Okay.
Your Honor, what's your name?
Robert D. Wayne.
Okay.
They'll help you out. They'll get it to the right spot, okay? It gets filed by your case number as opposed to finding me. So you get something in writing, just make sure you put your case.
What, his lawyer didn't show up that day or what?
Then
isn't that funny? Not funny, but weird. He didn't have a lawyer. I don't remember if he has one either. I forgot that he was just over there trying to get the bond reduced, and that was it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Case number on it, and we'll talk about it next week, okay, sir?
All right, thank you.
Throughout all this, volunteers across Northeast Wisconsin, like Lori Hamblin, have continued the search for Elijah. They say it's
all right. We're going to stop that and talk to you about your search, and then we'll wrap up, everybody. Yeah, demented people for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going to put this up.
So I just want, I pulled up pictures of rural areas around Two Rivers, Wisconsin, just so you guys can see what this is like. You got houses mixed in with trees, farmers' fields. You have a lot of wooded areas with sand and dirt and grass. You've got a lot of bodies, the big body of water on the lake, but you have trees along it.
Yeah, that's
and you've got this river that runs through. That's why it's called Two Rivers. You have two rivers that run through it. It's just absolutely crazy. And then this is another picture by the big lake, But then this is what we mean by the trees with the low branches. There's a lot of them. Not all of our trees have
I
higher
wish you
branches.
could click on that. I wish you could click on it and make it bigger. So the branches, some people that don't know, the branches start real low and they span out and like hit your legs while
Yes.
you're walking. I didn't realize that. I mean, it's not that I didn't know. I just don't think about that because, I'm here in California. And if you're out searching California, it's like, that's not the terrain that I see. So it's rough. I can't wait to see what, your new search or again, like whatever.
Yeah.
Do you guys have it mapped out already?
Paul and I both know where we want to go. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you have anyone you're meeting up with?
I'm trying to lock down times and individuals. Like I said, if anybody wants to help search, contact me.
Yep.
This is another
Beyond
good
the evidence.
picture,
There it is.
Jay,
Thank
of
you,
what I
Pam.
mean by all the twigs and sticks. But think of them all mounded up, and then you've got actual tree branches on top of them covering this
Right.
pile. You got to take all that apart and look through all that.
Yeah, and everything you look at, you're almost if it was me, I'd be like, oh, is that no. And remember, you found some bones, like animal bones, right?
Yes.
So when you find animal bones, you're thinking, oh no, did I just find, what did I find?
We found deer bones.
Deer bones, yeah.
Yeah, because you
And
can still see the fur and everything from it.
right.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then you'd find not only that under the bridges and stuff. I mean, we found a pack and play.
So you're like, and I forgot about the bridges too.
Yes.
Bridges are rough areas, pack and play. You're like, did they throw that out there?
And other bones. So you got to go and look at all of that stuff.
So you found bones, pack and play, more bones, animal bones. I mean, piles of things. And I'm sure there's, bugs out there and rodents or whatever, snakes. I don't even know. I don't live in that kind of.
There are snakes, but not. I mean, we've lived here over 10 years and I've seen one snake in our yard.
How far are you from the search?
It takes me about 2 hours to get down to Two Rivers. Two and a half hours.
You're fairly close and your terrain is similar. I mean, I'm in California, so if I go up or I go down, it's fairly flat. We're not, unless you hit the mountains, there's nothing really to, you're searching in city or you're searching on farms. There's nothing.
Well, yeah, and here it's a roller coaster of land. You've got your farm fields, but then you got your forests. Nothing is flat. You're going up
and everything's flat here, yeah.
Walking through the forest is very, very tricky because you can easily roll an ankle in a second. You actually have to plan each step. Lisa, sounds great. My name on Facebook is Marvelous Marvin. Otherwise, you can get a hold of me. And gee, I don't know if you can put this up, but email me at beyondtheevidence1@gmail.com.
Evidence1@gmail.com. Got it. Yep. I'll put that up real quick. I'll throw it on the screen. Beyondtheevidence1@gmail.com. But if not, you guys should definitely go over to Beyond the Evidence and subscribe. And then I'm sure your contact information's on there, right?
Yes, I'll be putting all of my Elijah videos in the Elijah playlist after this so that everybody can watch those.
And then also your information, though, when you click on like the community tab, it should have all your information there, like your contact, your Facebook, okay. All right. Yeah, that's cool, Lisa. We appreciate that. I'm sure Marv would appreciate the help and also the community growing. I love seeing that. I love seeing that you and JT got to get together and do that. I was like, man, I wish I could be there.
That area was different. You had the lake right next to us, the cliffs. That was some treacherous area, and then the forest,
Right.
after that. So that was definitely interesting to search where I went with him.
Right. Yeah. I saw it and I'm like, wow, and then the heat is not, I'm not friends with the heat either. So
I'm good with that on this weekend. Yes.
I'll be there in spirit with you all. And
Thank you.
yes, Lisa is one of the guilty of crimers, the crime crew. So hopefully she can go over to Beyond the Evidence too, be part of your community, and all the other people. We've dropped links and everything, but I think we can double back, and when there's something that we can report on, we'll collab together. And but yeah, other than that, I think we're done for today. I don't have anything else. I do want to check on my baby, which is going to be 10. I don't think she's up, or she'd have came in here. She's been sleeping since like 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I gave her a Motrin before I came in here. So, it's another day I'm not going to school tomorrow because it has to be 24 hours after the fever breaks. And school just started. She started Thursday and Friday last week, and then came home, and then Saturday she had a fever. So
that's all it takes is to get back into that group of kids and get sick. And my kids don't start school till September.
That's what everybody says. It makes me so mad. They're like, what's up with you East Coasters and whatever? Why does school start? Summer's not over. It's starting so early. And I'm like, right?
Yeah.
I mean, luckily she's in 4th grade, so it's not like she's missing trigonometry or anything, but it's still, it's rough. And the teachers are on your back too. Trust me. Wednesday, Ophelia, thank you. Yeah, they're... you don't even know. They want their money. They're crazy. They're nice, but you can only have a certain amount of days missed, and it's just like, the whole thing. It stresses me out.
Absolutely. I can understand that completely. That's
that stresses me out, and then it stresses me out thinking she's missing school. So both things are like double.
I know.
So anyway, she will feel better soon. I think most of the time those colds take 5 days to blast out. So it just stresses me out. I was like, yesterday I told somebody that her fever was gone and now it's back. So, all right. Well, you guys know that I'm a mama bear. I'm a mama bear, and my 24-year-old son is coming next weekend, and we're going to get him LASIK surgery. And then we're going to take care of him, because for 3 days, got to be in the pitch black.
Yeah.
Recover. So we're going to take care of him too. And he's, it never stops.
I just took my daughter last week back to college for her 3rd year.
Oh, congratulations.
And I'm like, okay, so I'm dealing with her, and like I said,
111.
Yeah. I got finally got the air conditioner. We got the air conditioner fixed today, so I have air conditioning again. So I'm like, okay, things are starting to fall into place again.
Yeah, I saw you struggling with your hair looked wet and you're hot.
Yes.
I know Carly was helping you mod or something one of the days, which I don't see her. I think she was here earlier, but all right, y'all. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Cindo's the rewatch crew. Please rewatch, subscribe to both channels if you haven't, and get this case out there, because you know what? It's important that we don't forget about Elijah Vue, that we don't focus too much on one case and we forget about the others. I do want to, do updates on Sade Robinson. I do want to do updates on everything, but we have one day a week that I can stream, one day every day per week. So there's only so much time.
And thank you to those that have sent in a donation to help cover costs of going there and getting a hotel, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you all today for members who joined, donations, all that. You guys, I love you all, and I'm gonna hit that outro. All right,
All right.
Let's have a good one. Thanks, Marv.
Thanks, Jay.
Guilty of crime. I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime. Are you guilty?